What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. The Fantastic Four has begun filming. There's been a lot of photos of the set going around online right now, but there has also been a report for a leak about essentially the entire film. And it seems very real. Obviously, it's a leak. We cannot confirm if this is the actual plot of the movie, but I'm going to go ahead and issue a spoiler warning because it really does sound like this is what the movie is going to be. Plus, it lines up with other leaks that we've heard about what this film is going to be about. And what's interesting is this leak does actually answer some questions that fans have been having about some of the story details, especially with the multiverse aspect of it. And if this does end up being a true leak, then the Fantastic Four aren't actually from this universe that the film is going to be taking place in. There really is a lot in this. Like I said, it pretty much covers the entire movie. So let's just dive into it. And with all leaks, take it with a grain of salt. But again, this could be real. So big spoiler warning if you don't actually want to know. So this is coming from maxblizz.com. They've done a lot of reporting on leaks lately. And they released an article a couple of days ago titled "Marvel Studios Reveals Key Details About the Fantastic Four First Steps in Production." And they basically state that the production has begun in London. Then the plot leak is listed, and it starts off by stating, the movie opens with the family already known as the Fantastic Four in the retro-futuristic universe. They are on a mission. Soon after, there's a scene where they explain to some kids how they defeated Mole Man. A flashback shows the whole scene. Now, this lines up with what we've been hearing, that Mole Man is going to be in this movie, and some people think that he could be played by Paul Walter Hauser, who has been officially cast for the movie, but they haven't said what role he's playing yet. But it continues, the universe is highly developed despite its retro theme. There are a few heroes, but they are the main ones, the Fantastic Four. They are like celebrities to the population, but they live like ordinary people. They work for the government as scientists and space explorers. They are known by high society and adored by the people. The name the Fantastic Four was given to them by the people. The Thing has a girlfriend, Reed and Sue have a son, and Johnny is the team's spokesman. So again, this lines up basically with everything that we've heard so far. Set in an alternate futuristic reality that is also set in the past, in the 60s. We've also heard that the Fantastic Four will indeed be famous, but we actually heard before that there weren't going to be any other superheroes in their universe, and that they were going to be the only superheroes that existed. So this goes against that, but as we go further along into the plot details, it makes sense why other heroes would exist. We'll get to that real soon in this plot leak. This is where it gets kind of interesting. It says, as the plot unfolds, it becomes clear that something is wrong with this family and that they are hiding something. On a government space mission, they encounter the Silver Surfer in Earth's orbit. She tells them that the Devourer of Worlds, Galactus, is coming. Now, we already know that Julia Garner has been cast as a female Silver Surfer. And of course, we obviously know that Galactus is the main villain of this film. We have seen pictures of Galactus. We have also seen pictures of the Fantastic Four in what appear to be spacesuits and possibly them in space. But here's the big twist. It says, during the movie, it is revealed that they do not belong to this universe and have come from the sacred timeline. The farce of this family is about to be revealed. Their origin is briefly shown. In an experiment, they discovered a new dimension, which could possibly be the negative zone, or maybe even the quantum realm, because remember, they probably discovered this in the past. And it states that, and while trying to explore it, they were sucked into the multiverse, exposed to high levels of radiation, and fell into this parallel Earth. And now, they have powers. It's revealed that they chose to settle in this new society because they were unable to return to their universe, and their recognition comes after a heroic act against the mad scientist known as Mole Man, a scene in which you see in the beginning of the movie in the form of a flashback, as was mentioned. So this is very interesting because a lot of us thought that it was pretty weird that the Fantastic Four were going to be from a different universe. And we're not done with the entire plot leak yet, but I do want to talk about this for just a second because it seems like this solves a pretty big issue, because people were wondering, well, what happens after Secret Wars? We just take the Fantastic Four that existed in another universe and we just simply put them in our universe now? Well, it sounds like, yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen because they were originally part of our universe. In fact, it sounds like, as we're about to get into, the Fantastic Four will end up in the sacred timeline after their movie, which makes sense because the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige have already confirmed that the Fantastic Four will be in Avengers Doomsday and in Avengers Secret Wars, the next two Avengers films. But it continues. After that, they succeed in finding a way to return to their universe, but they come into conflict because some of them want to return, but others want to save the parallel Earth from Galactus. They want to help destroy it before they leave, as they have become attached to their new world. Meanwhile, the Silver Surfer returns to Earth to prepare it, but is confronted by the Fantastic Four. She defeats them and discovers their plan to travel to another universe. She travels to the Sacred Timeline while the Fantastic Four escape, and then she eventually returns to the retro-futuristic universe, going to Galactus to tell him about this other universe, full of new worlds for him to devour. She explains how to access this new universe, which is through the Fantastic Four. Galactus then decides to go immediately to Earth in the retro-futuristic universe as he is ill and believes that the Sacred Timeline universe will provide the revitalization he needs. He intends to use the Fantastic Four to travel to the Sacred Timeline, and from here, the person who posted this stated, "I didn't have access to the full draft. There was no information about the third act except that it's Galactus versus the Fantastic Four. Galactus will be enraged and begin to destroy the Earth of this retro-futuristic universe, and then will ultimately destroy it completely." Franklin Richards, who is the son of Reed Richards and Sue Storm, will have powers in the movie. The First Steps is also about him. It is expected that cameos and variants of other characters will appear in the movie, and Galactus will not be defeated in the movie. And that is what has been posted for the plot leak. Now, like I said, it sounds pretty legit. Of course, we don't know if this is real or not, but as far as what we've heard the Fantastic Four is going to be about, and what we can kind of presume Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and the Multiverse Saga will be about from here on out, this seems to line up. Plus, not to mention, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus just recently revealed that Galactus is going to be a being in the entire multiverse in which there's only one. So there will only be one Galactus per the entire multiverse, not one Galactus per universe. So much like America Chavez, there are no other variants of her in any other universes. There's only one of her. There are no variants. So reportedly, the same goes for Galactus. There are no Galactus variants. So that kind of lines up as well. Galactus going to a different universe. And that's how we get the big threat of Galactus in our actual Sacred Timeline. And this person claims that they have seen a good majority of the draft and evidently got this from somebody that is in production right now on the film. So this very well could be a very legitimate leak for the Fantastic Four First Steps. And if that is so, I do like this because I do like the fact that the Fantastic Four will be originally from our main Sacred Timeline. Because I think you could do a lot with this story. Like you could have them possibly know Tony Stark, or maybe Howard Stark, Tony Stark's father, or maybe Hank Pym. In fact, a lot of us thought that perhaps in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, somewhere in the quantum realm, they would actually find the Fantastic Four stuck in there somewhere. A lot of us thought that that's what the post-credit scene was going to be, but of course that is not what happened. However, considering what this plot leak states, the quantum realm might play a pretty big role in how the Fantastic Four ended up in another universe. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania made it very clear that people from different universes can end up in the same quantum realm. We are assuming, of course, there's only one quantum realm, and the quantum realm could be how the Fantastic Four did indeed end up in this other universe. Now, again, I like this idea because I like the idea of showing us the perspective of other universes, not just our Sacred Timeline 616. In the Multiverse Saga, as the entire multiverse starts to collapse and get destroyed, you should show the perspective of other universes. So it sounds like we're getting that with the Fantastic Four film no matter what. Regardless if this plot leak is true or not, we do know it takes place in an alternate universe in the 60s in a futuristic retro universe. And I'm assuming, and I hope, we get the same thing for the X-Men universe that was introduced to us at the end of the Marvels, which we believe is the 10,005 universe, the same one that Deadpool and the other X-Men films take place in. That way, it's not just one universe, not just two universes, but several universes that we're getting different perspectives from. And then with Dr. Doom, Robert Downey Jr. returning, if he is indeed a Tony Stark variant, which we believe that he is, then that is another universe that we could get a different perspective on as well. And there are a lot of really cool theories going on about that right now, about how Tony Stark actually becomes Dr. Doom. We're going to start talking about a lot of them. So if you want to hear those and you want to stay up to date on the MCU, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please let us know what you think about this plot leak. If it is is real? Will you like this? Will this be a good movie to you? If not, what would you change? Let us know. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.